So on this 15th anniversary of the first module going up, why do you think that people should be invested in the space station? Why is it important to follow?
Why is the space station important? Oh my goodness. The space station is just a phenomenal international cooperative engineering scientific achievement. It's, it's our gateway to the universe. We're using the space station as an engineering testbed for the future. We're doing great science on it. It's a superb international model of how we will work together when we explore beyond planet Earth. We have so much more to learn about a sustained period of life in a microgravity environment. In the space station, that's where we're getting it done. When you consider we've got, the United States, Russia, Canada, Japan, the European Space Agency, and all its partners, and we're all working together as one up there. And, we've had a crew up there since October of 2000, continuously manned the whole time, doing great things. And I think one of the real benefits, there are multiple benefits, but the science is going to come more and more as we have more time and we develop things as we move along. But from an engineering point of view, to prove the systems that we need, to prove how the human system can sustain life in a microgravity environment, space station is fantastic. And then, again, the international cooperative effort, how we work together as one. When you consider all those modules were built all over the world, and they came together for the first time in space, and everything worked, that is a huge engineering achievement also. So now the space station is worth every penny that was spent on it.
That's great. And you were up for the first assembly mission. So I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that. What was it like floating through those modules for the first time?
Oh, absolutely. First off, it's hard to believe it's been 15 years. It seems like it was yesterday. On November 20th, when the FGB launched on a Proton rocket from Baikonur, I had the crew over to my house, and we had dinner and had a little party and watched it. And we all knew when Zarya got safely on orbit, that was great for us because we were going to have a mission a couple of weeks later. Then on December 4th, we launched on Endeavour with Unity in the payload bay. And, the mission was perfect from start to finish. It was so neat to, take Unity out, dock it to the, berth it, pick it up with the arm and berth it to the docking station, then rendezvous with Zarya, grab it with the arm and attach it to the other end of Unity. We had 3 spacewalks to connect all the data and electrical connectors, and we got to go inside the space station for the first time. And beforehand, the media kept asking, who's going to be the first one inside? And I never told anybody. In fact, I never even told the crew. And when it came time to go in, I waved my arm and I pulled Sergei Krikalev up with me. And we went through every hatch side by side into Unity, into Zarya together, because it was an international space station, and I thought it was really important that we enter as an international team. So the 2 days that we were inside, getting it ready for the first crew, that was really special. And activating the systems. We did so much testing on the ground of the computer systems and stuff, and we did mission essential integration tests at the Cape, and that was something they hadn't planned on doing. Originally, it was a ship and shoot philosophy. And we convinced them that we needed to do more testing at the Cape, and we found a number of issues. And I tell you, nobody was more surprised than me when we sent the commands from the aft flight deck on the computers and everything powered up and worked perfectly.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And what role do you think international collaboration should play with manned spaceflight in today and in the future?
Oh, I think it's critical. First off, it's way too expensive for any one nation to go off and explore beyond planet Earth. And when we do explore beyond planet Earth, and we are going to, we're building a rocket and a spacecraft to do that right now. When we do explore beyond planet Earth, we should do it in an international cooperative effort. And I believe the space station has set the model for that, the agreements that we have in place, how we work together, and we'll continue to work together as we explore. Down at the Cape right now, we're preparing the launch complex for the Space Launch System and the Orion spacecraft. We have Orion, the very first flight article, being built right now for a flight next September, less than a year away, on a flight over 3,000 miles from Earth to re-enter at near lunar re-entry velocities to check out the thermal protection system and other systems on the spacecraft. So we're making huge progress towards that Space Launch System launch at the Cape in 2017 and eventually having a crew on board so that we can explore, because the ultimate goal is to get to Mars. As we do the asteroid retrieval mission, as we send these precursor missions. Monday we launched MAVEN to Mars to study the Martian atmosphere. Just as the rovers are on Mars, MAVEN, all these flights are integrated so that in the end we know all that we need to know to send humans.
That's great. And did you ever think that the space station would sort of be this amazing complex that it is today, or was this always what you and your fellow astronauts sort of thought it would be like?
Well, I think we knew what we had a great plan, just as we do now, and we knew that we could implement it and make it happen. One of the concerns at the beginning was we called it the wall of EVA, all these spacewalks that we had to do in order to complete the space station. And many thought that, we wouldn't be successful. And looking back on it, it's truly amazing. When you look at the number of spacewalks we did without problem, and the mechanical problems, the problems that we had, I'm talking about the suits and everything working fine for the crew. The mechanical problems that we ran into at the space station, because we had humans there, because we had a team that could react and think real time, we were able to overcome all the issues that we had building the space station. And just a phenomenal achievement when you consider all the spacewalks and all that went together. I was reviewing our post-flight crew video the other day. Brought back great memories, but at the end of the video, we leave with this picture of Unity and Zarya together in space, the birth of the International Space Station. And then we went to an animated video that showed all the modules coming together until it was this huge complex the size of a football field. And, it was all computer animation. And I look at it now, and it's not computer animation anymore. It's there. It's real. We actually did it. And I think that's absolutely phenomenal.
Wow. Yeah, and sort of along the same lines, would you mind talking a little bit about the benefits of actually sending humans farther into space as opposed to continuing to use rovers and probes?
Well, absolutely, we need to use rovers and probes, but in the end, you need boots on the ground. Talk to the scientists, to the geologists, how much they would like to have, a real person, an astronaut on the ground, instead of sending commands to a rover moving a few feet a day exploring. Humans are just much more adaptable. It's, in the end, it's in our DNA to explore, to go beyond the known, to learn more. And, we are going to continue to do that as a people. It's right. And boots on Mars, that's the goal. Oh. Well, I was blessed to have 4 fantastic missions. Each one was unique and each one was special. But I got to lean a little bit on the last one to have, laid the cornerstone for the International Space Station, to have all that went on that flight with spacewalks and rendezvous and everything else. It was really special. But I think the most special thing about being in space is just looking down on the Earth from 200 miles high. It truly is a beautiful blue jewel of a planet with this thin little hazy line that you see that's our atmosphere, protecting it from that harsh void of space, that ultraviolet radiation, those extreme temperatures. And when you see the Earth, and we didn't obviously have the blue marble that the Apollo astronauts saw, but it's still pretty special. And you see that beautiful blue planet with that harsh black void of space. And space is just it's the darkest, blackest void you can possibly imagine. And there's a pretty special place. We need to take care of it. But I could look out the window all day. I envy the crews on the International Space Station now with that beautiful cupola, to be able to get up inside there and look out. That's pretty amazing. But now that they were all special, it's a special place. I have to add, we're very blessed, those of us who are astronauts have had the opportunity to fly in space, but we're such a small part of the team. I haven't flown in space for 15 years. But every day I come to work with a smile on my face to be part of this team, to be making a difference. And NASA is truly an amazing place to work. We have the most talented, dedicated contractor civil service workforce anywhere. And we are doing great things, and we're going to continue to do great things.
That's great. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
You bet, Miriam.
Space.com